Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban.
Yes, these are all terrible.
10 seconds remaining.
I think
5 seconds remaining.
I think I just don't care enough about anything to be afraid of anything.
Radiant team ban.
Looking like that.
10 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Bristleback!
Or Corey's, our translators.
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
LGD.Forever last had the Sand King, Bat Rider, Terrorblade, Oracle, right? None of those heroes they play last game are anything you really want to open with against Bristleback. Can't imagine they'll be that, Terrorblade way later in the draft. First pick just seems so odd. Nyx is somewhat good against Bristleback because he can't stun him forever. Mana Burn before was actually pretty good against him.
Dire team pick.
That's a pretty strong lane against Bristleback. And of course the Ice Blast is nice against Bristleback since he has tons of regen. Also high damage and damage amplifying with his other spells. It's alright, I guess.
Needs assassin.
Radiant team ban.
And there we go.
10 seconds remaining.
All right.
We saw
5 seconds remaining.
just not as popular. I guess, like you said, it's got like
Time.
Chilling Touch with Geminate Attack into Bristle. Level 1 to 3, you can do a ton of damage to him.
Yeah,
But
it's definitely a strong lane. I mean, outside of that, not great.
Yeah, I don't see... Because they're not flexible. Weaver can go off lane or safe lane, but AA is... Yeah, like, you know what AA is going to do. He's going to try and stack and pull. He's not going to roam. He's going to sit in a lane somewhere, give Chilling Touch to people.
Right, he's got one thing he does every game, right?
Yeah.
Sits in the safe
Dire
lane,
team
tries to get level
ban.
6.
Exactly.
Nyx Assassin, great hero against Weaver, actually. Chain stuns when you gank Weaver, as long as you sit on top of him and press
Radiant
Spike
team
Carapace when you
ban.
hit him from Vendetta. Weaver has no real invises and gets stunned and dies, or he dies.
Dire team ban.
Io is still available here. Is that something that EHOME.KEEN might want to go for to combo with the Bristleback, or is that just not favored in the Chinese scene?
No, not many. I don't think we saw a single IO. No one's been running it. It was something that Shen and I talked about at the start of the group stage, was that
10
some of these players and
seconds
teams,
remaining.
have run IO in the past, but the past
5 seconds
sort of
remaining.
2 months or so, it's not been popular at all. just because it can be exploited in lane with the way that a lot of the Chinese teams play with aggressive 4 roaming heroes and lanes that can kill with the 4-roll hero. Bio can get shut down very quickly early on in the game.
It's also one of those heroes that's like, some teams play it, some teams don't. You know what I mean? It's never a hero that like, oh, this plays well, we'll try it out. Either you know and
10 seconds
understand this hero
remaining.
well as a team, or you just don't bother with it.
5 seconds
Yep,
remaining.
So, dipping into reserve time here for the Death Prophet pick again,
Dire
LGD.FY.
team
I mean, they found a strat that's working for them and they're picking it up. And are we seeing Death Prophet outside of the Chinese region?
I would say very rarely.
Because we've seen it like the last 3 games.
Big fan of this hero.
10 seconds
Fantastic.
remaining.
Small
5
issues with
seconds
dying, of course.
remaining.
Dying is not good.
I mean, the Soul Siphon helps a lot when you can actually get it off.
Yeah, and there's also
Reserve
pretty good
time.
defensive heroes along with DP. Last game we saw Oracle. Like, realistically, Oracle with DP with Oracle sitting behind her is not going to really die in these team fights at all, unless you cast spells. So yeah, even Dazzle. I mean, Brave him when he gets low, DP can go right back up. There's lots of different... You know, A actually acts as kind of a block pick too. Very reliant on heals. A good at finishing off these targets, preventing out. Perhaps some, you know, it kind of block it a little bit, but it's also somewhat good against Bristleback.
Radiant team pick.
So definitely looks okay.
So Puck pickup for EHOME.KEEN. Again, Puck is a go-to flex pick now. You can offlane him, you can mid him, and Tim started with Bristleback. We saw a solo mid Bristleback run twice today already, so lots
10
of
seconds remaining.
maneuverability here. In fact, these 3 heroes for EHOME.KEEN can all comfortably be put in the off lane, but Nick's probably going to be that 4.
Dire team pick.
Hold out on the Earth Spirit until 4th. So Afu does get his kind of signature hero. Performing incredibly well. Like, a lot of teams have been burst banning Earth Spirit up against Afu. But priorities have changed a lot in the past, day and a half or so, with DK becoming incredibly
10
strong in the
seconds
drafts that we've seen
remaining.
from Chinese teams. Nightstalker, Nyx, Sand King. Two of
5
those 3 are like
seconds
almost
remaining.
always banned in the first phase of Chinese teams. Kunkka's been a new addition though. Kunkka, that
Reserve time.
kind of weird, aggressive and defensive roaming 4-roll and catch with X Torrent.
Patch on Kunkka. There's a lot of pushing here that all these Chinese teams are. See DP again, Dragon Knight banned in both games. I mean, they complement those heroes so nicely when you behind them. Tries to blow everything on those heroes. Ship.
I feel like LGD.FY don't like being run at. They want to be able to set up outside towers, set up, inside Roshan after laning stage. Once it gets to like 20, 25 minutes in, and they want to be making the first move to go and play aggressively. If they get run at by heroes, like banning out Lycan and Bloodseeker is obviously perfect, but if they get run at by, Timbersaw, Bristleback, if they have maybe a bit of sustain behind the bristle, things can get really dangerous very quickly because they've got very little disengage for DP. It's just Weaver and Earth Spirit who get themselves out of fights. And if EHOME.KEEN are able to, make that first step and be the ones that kind of put the pressure on LGD, it honestly feels like whoever makes the first step to go and push tier 2s first, or, makes the first movement towards Roshan has the upper hand.
10 seconds
Yeah.
remaining.
I really like that Void ban. We've seen a lot of AA Void
Dire
combination.
team
Death Prophet
ban.
obviously can just sit outside and slap away with the Weaver, so pretty good coverage for EHOME.KEEN, and now 1 pick left. Terrorblade, the final ban, making sure that EHOME.KEEN can't get that massive push they're looking for. So what are both drafts still lacking right now? Like, what do they need to
10
kind of
seconds
really tie the
remaining.
ribbon up nicely?
I feel like
5 seconds
EHOME,
remaining.
K are missing a real carry. You know what I mean? Like, I know that a lot of these hard carries
Reserve
have kind
time.
of fallen out of favor, but there's a lot of damage. Nyx Assassin, whether he's offlane or support, not exactly the highest damage hero in Shadow Shaman. It looks like a pretty bad Shadow Shaman game. You have like a big AoE silence from deep. Spirit can always silence him too if he's ever casting Shackles. And then Bristleback is kind of like that sustained damage over time, which DP also likes for heal. You know what I mean? Like, it's just... I feel like they need
Dire
something,
team pick.
sort of burst. But I also don't feel like this is the right role.
Yeah.
Just
What's
looks
another
odd.
What's another hero that has a big team you know, pushing ultimates similar to Lycan, similar to TB that can help push
10
towers and maybe
seconds
cycle with
remaining.
Shadow Shaman ulti. Anything that comes to mind.
5 seconds
Pugner
remaining.
doesn't do very well here. Could help sustain pushes, but
I mean, I like
Feels-
CK, but I
10
think
seconds
CK is dead
remaining.
in the competitive scene. Is there any chance Chaos
5
Knight gets brought out for this,
seconds
or is that
remaining.
just not even a thing?
we saw a lot of CKAA in the group stage, so it may be LGD.FY that goes for the
Radiant
Chaos Knight,
team
and
pick.
if, against a Lifestealer, it's a pretty good shout. But
Lifestealer looks quite good here.
Yeah, got 2 good vessels with the Puck and the Nyx Assassin to get him in for those infest bombs, and Magic Community is always going to be neat against
10
LGD.Forever Young's
seconds
lineup.
remaining.
None of these heroes at all against
5
side of
seconds
Weep.
remaining.
Looks quite nice in Puck, tons of lockdown. They have a lot of this disables and everything to
Reserve
kind of
time.
keep Weaver in check in these fights. But
can you go
also-
Necro? Can you go Necro here as FY? As LGD.FY?
could, but then you have an
Weaver
offlane
offlane.
Necro or an offlane Weaver, or perhaps you
Omni
aggro
Knight.
tri-lane with Omni Knight. I mean, LGD.FY's lineup right here, you can see exactly what they want to do. They're going to group up, push, and have this unstoppable 5-man before get online and be able to deal with it, hopefully.
What's going to be the go point for LGD.FY? Is it going to be Death Prophet 6 and then they move, or do they need some items? They need AA's 6 and Omni Knight 6?
I feel like there's a whole bunch of different power spikes. Like, D6 is good, but unless they, like, kill Puck, they probably can't deal a lot of tower damage because they pull it off with the orb. So, I mean, all these heroes have, like, some innate lane pressure. Weaver being strong in the lane, especially against the Bristleback with an AA paired up, will always be able to, like, chip away at the tower. So they can kind of spread EHOME.K pretty
10
thin on the map.
seconds
And then they'll,
remaining.
like, slowly chip at towers, then eventually group up and then try to break open the
5
map.
seconds
And
remaining.
it might not even be through deep. It might be just rotations from Spirit, AA, even Weaver.
Don't both
Like,
teams have to run defensive tri-lanes against the offlane counterparts though? Both Omni and Bristle are super hard to kill if you just have dual lanes, right?
Yeah, they definitely are both going to be looking for these kinds, most likely. But I mean, Omni Knight is a good laner, especially against Life. Very, very good.
Yeah.
And Shadow Shaman is probably one of the best offlane or support heroes at zoning these offlaners. But of course, then there are the X factors that come into play. You know, Earth Spirit rotations. Shadow Shaman is quite a slow hero. Sometimes he gets smoke taken.
Yeah, we've seen Shamans be able to go and get, like, redonkulously fast blinks, but then Shamans also get, like, Shane killed over and over, so we'll see what's going to be happening this game. Like you mentioned, it's not a perfect Shadow Shaman game, but it'll still work. Hey, Shane.
Yes, please.
Good.
Scrambled eggs would be lovely. Apparently we have scrambled eggs now. Alright, so again, we are starting off. This is series number 3 in the Chinese playoffs for TI7. And this is the upper bracket, as this is the victors of both games so far. Come on, there we go. Getting those camera binds working. So, initial impressions of the draft, like, who do you think just overall has the upper hand here, according to our betting odds?
LFY for ease of execution. It looks way simpler for them to do what they want to do than EHOME, who have much more kind of finicky, nuanced ways to enter and exit team fights. They rely on Lifestealer bombs to look for picks.
Yeah, they like rely on this Lifestealer bomb, but there's an Omni Knight to save whoever they go on, right? It has to be like such a well planned out, coordinated fight where Puck blinks in, silences Omni Knight, and then they are able to burst down some key hero like the DP, but then at the same time, then that frees up the fight for all these other heroes, and it just looks like LGD.FY's lineup is easy.
Yep, and again, the odds right below the net worth bar are from Loot Bet, so if you are over 18, live in a country where it's legal, and feel like putting a couple bucks down on the game, there's a really high payout for LFY. If you believe they can actually get this done in game number 1, that's tripling your money right there.
Why, oh my. What's the website again? How do I sign up for this?
Loot.bet, sir.
Oh, right. I can do that right now.
I believe US is legal for Loot Bet.
Well, I'm still not going to do it.
And yeah, these are live odds, so hopefully they'll be updating throughout the game. So after a dope team fight, we'll see if it swings one way or the other. And promo code TI7 if you're actually looking to put a couple of dollars down. Again, loot.bet, thank you guys for getting them live odds up.
Bet responsibly.
Absolutely. Be over 18. Do it in a legal way. Don't do no sneaky stuff. That's not how you win good money.
Every time I hear promo code, I just memes come
BSJ.
up. Yep.
Dude, promo code BSJ, man.
What was the Papa John's one that EG had?
Oh, it was Pizza GG.
Pizza GG,
Pizza
that's the one. That got
GG.
spammed so much.
Dude, exclamation point pizza GG
Giveaway.
if you're a fan.
Exclamation
Dude,
mark
don't
giveaway.
bring back giveaway. That still triggers me.
I actually used that one, but I lived in Santa Monica at the time, and pizza was still 15 bucks.
$15 for one pizza.
Yeah, it was disappointing, but I ate it anyways.
So here's the thing, if you had $5 and you bet on LFY to win the game and then they do, you could buy a $15 pizza for $5.
Oh my god. Loot
That
bet?
is tripling your money.
It's loot bet, right?
Loot.bet, yeah.
Oh, well, okay, loot dot bet. I can't get it wrong. These guys are lifesavers.
That's a $5 pizza. That's all you gotta think about now. Over here, some initiation onto the Shadow Shaman. He's being bullied, but yeah, no one's really gonna be going and getting killed, I don't
Rasta
think.
is strong.
Actually,
This guy's giving up the business.
Ether Shock, can he keep vision? Or Spirit just slightly faster?
I mean, Rolling Boulder's a trash level 1 spell now, right? You know,
Yeah, definitely.
they remove so
I mean-
much of the damage and slow from it.
When you
Well,
look
it
at
used
the
to be
Shadow Shaman of the
stupid.
past, right, you think, this guy's not man fighting anyone. This guy, whew, it's been working out. Wrong hero now.
Krong has mismatched thingamajiggies. That's
Uh,
not bothersome at all. Either way.
It's even worse on heroes like Anti-Mage where they have 2 different swords.
Oh yeah, Anti-Mage Bloodseeker. Just all the offhand weapons not matching.
Oh, are you talking about his maracas?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right, one's like a dragon. Oh, no, that's, oh.
Which
zoomed
one
in
has
on
the
it.
Hex thing? Because isn't one of them the Hex Immortal that makes it a sheep, not a chicken?
Yeah, it's the torch looking thing.
Oh, well, either way, it looks like Lifestealer potentially in some trouble. Gonna get rolled on here. Doesn't have his Rage skilled up, but they just don't do enough damage. All they're doing is driving him back from the wave and forcing him to last it under tower.
What's Omni doing on the tower?
Well, they're gonna continue to pressure in. Omni looked like he was going in for the nuke on the backside, but looks like he's just gonna get shackled up. That is a miscalculation from the Omni. They do have the Rolling Boulder waiting, and looks like he will be able to get off the Purification and heal himself, but that seemed a little unnecessary to go that deep.
He made the Lifestealer miss like 2 CS and 1 CS on a range creep, so I think that's worth it.
I mean, it looked awkward, and it probably wasn't the most optimal play, but it doesn't really matter. They're just gonna solve him up. Now Rasta has only mana for like 1 spell. He's still gonna have a pretty okay time in lane.
In towards our mid lane, relatively even in CS. Puck with a couple more denies, but damage really being sprayed out both ways. Puck going in deep here. They are going to bring the Impale and the Death Prophet, even through the Soul Siphon. Still getting healed up. They just need a couple more hits. One more. Is Puck going to do it? The Death Prophet's still alive. Nyx chasing her, eating tower shots, as now Puck is running low. First blood comes the way of the Nyx Assassin. They're looking to make this a 2-for. One more hit, and it will be 2 kills now in favor of EHOME. So very dangerous mid gank goes right for the dire side.
Such good timing on that next rotation. Coming in from like the eastern side where there's no ward vision. DP overplaying.
It's also like, you don't expect to die to a level 1 D. Hale's not exactly the strongest level 1 ability. But now he's level 3.
Radiant's
two
top
kills.
tower is under attack.
Quite the disaster in the mid. You know, when Puck gets ahead like this, when he hits level 6, tons of kill potential.
Yep, he's already got his double null, just healing up. He's got enough for boots if he wants some, or he can just grab a bottle and head back in. Down bottom are AA, level 3.25. That's pretty okay for 4.5 minutes in. Gonna be getting that level 6 nicely timed.
Interesting deviation. The Puck went for raindrops, holding on to a bit of money still. And went for the boots. So we'll get the bottle a bit later on. I mean, I guess it's good at dealing with the Soul Siphon, not having to waste the Illusory Orb to try and get away. And all the Venom from Earth Spirit rotations. So you give yourself a lot more leeway in fights to turn around and play aggressively once they've casted spells.
Yeah, it's also like it doesn't need the bottle right away. You know, he just came back from the fountain, full HP, full mana. Doesn't actually matter.
Omni-Knight going in here. Is he going to get killed off before he gets a chance to cast that Purification? He gets it off, but the damage might still be there. Gonna go repel himself and try to walk to freedom. Ah, Fu is there with the rolling boulder. But, oh, Impale catches him. They clip him with the Ether Shock as well. That's gonna be a kill for Lifestealer, so things going well for him. Ooh, thank you for the egg, Shane.
What a nice left.
So now down in the bottom lane, Weaver getting some okay farm, being bullied out a little bit by the Bristleback, who even solo in lane is outlast hitting him.
Bristleback is having a field day in this lane AA. I mean, unless they actually... It's one of these lanes where, like, they need to make moves early with all 3 heroes to commit to actually zoning them early start, but at this point, if he just shrines up, I don't know if they can actually kill him with all 3 heroes right now.
Omneg goes in and manages to find himself a bounty rune, but the Shadow Shaman coming in, all they can do is pop the shock, although now they're in range of shackles, but they'll let him off with a warning this time.
That's why we expected the safe lane tri lane with Earth Spirit being there, but he spent a lot of time top lane, then rotated mid a fair amount. So the damage that AA Weaver have wasn't, you know, tied in with the lockdown that Earth Spirit brings to actually kill off or zone out fully the Bristle.
I mean, Bristle, you can just see with his positioning, he's so confident. He's got that sentry ward in, making sure no one's going to be sneaking up on him. Now, tries to walk off the cold feet. There is going to be the rolling boulder in. The cold feet not going to proc, though. Chilling touch there. The damage is going to be a lot. They just need a couple more hits, and they will find it. So Bristleback gets his bluff called as they pick up that level 1 in the chilling touch.
Yep, that chilling touch with legitimate attack, tons of damage. I mean, his farm is still great. Like, if Earth Spirit ever feels like he needs to leave the lane to help enable his Omni Knights, or perhaps to a Death Prophet, he passes to the mid lane. Like, Puck is level 7 now, and have to be careful getting coiled into rotation. You know, it's quite dangerous.
Puck just gonna hop to safety. Death Prophet matching up with him pretty nicely. What?
The Nyx just animation cancelling. He's such a
chilling.
little troll. I can't remember what his name is because he uses Chinese characters that I can't read. But I think his name is like Jiang or something like that. But he plays the Pudge as well, and he's just absolutely insane at knowing where to be at what time. You know, rotating in. Like, even there you see the DP try to go a little bit on the Puck. The Puck has the orb, but Nyx is already there ready in case the Earth Spirit's coming in to rotate as well.
Puck now has the bottle building towards the treads. He'll have it up pretty shortly, and this Puck is, again, off to a really good start. Has that 1 kill under his belt, and things looking okay. Nyx Assassin, levels are pretty good. Level 4.25. Ancient Apparition, almost level 5, so that level 6 is getting close. Omni Knight again, gonna get popped with a Dream Coil. They're bringing the Puck here, and he's just gonna repel himself, walk on through the coil. They're waiting him to repel, with the repel off before they're going for the shackles, and it's not looking like Omni gets out here. Clipped by the orb, and that's gonna be another kill for the Puck. The charge comes in as everyone feeling pretty confident on EHOME's side of the map. Bristleback has respawned after his death and continuing to pressure the Weaver. Look at that. One spray of the quills just clips him down.
I'm proud of myself. His name is Jiang An. I got it right.
That's
Fuck
five,
yeah.
Gareth. You got
My
that.
hands are sweaty, so
Oh.
never finish.
You basically rounded up. You weren't entirely right.
Round it up. Okay. When they coming in, are they going to try an attempt on the Bristleback here? It's pretty low mana. They're going to pop him. Oh, bug. Now, there they go. They lock him down, and they will get the kill. So that's now 2 kills on the Bristleback in lane. Earth Spirit's rotation was super crucial. Meanwhile, top lane, Omni still getting some okay farm for himself, but definitely not matching up with that Bristle. In fact, almost getting doubled up by the off-lane Bristle.
Definitely makes you worry about the Weaver's farm. 35 last hits in 9 minutes in your safe lane. I mean, look at how easily they can kill this hero. It's not like that was difficult in the very beginning of the game, especially with points in the children.
Oh, initiation onto Omni here. Again, just going to repel it off and walk away. I mean, that's the strength of the Omni. He doesn't much care about initiations onto himself, but he's got to watch out. They got to make him burn the repel with, you know, Lifestealer feasting onto you, but then there's still the Shadow Shaman here with the shackles. Those are pretty lethal.
And usually the response to an aggressive offlaner doing well in lane is to put your, you know, at least move your safe laner, go and TP top or smoke with one of your supports to play aggressively in the enemy safe lane. But with a Lifestealer and a Shadow Shaman there, I think the only kill you get is likely on the Shadow Shaman.
Yeah.
Because the control they have is not enough to go through Rage, and he can, what, infest now as well? He's level 7, nearly level 8 on Lifestealer.
Damn.
Such a difficult hero to rotate and actually be able to kill.
Offlane Bristleback going to be almost picking up his level 9, and the Nyx is getting very close to that Vendetta.
And AA is not a rotation hero. He is not a dynamic hero. He is a I sit here and do what I can to get my
I will
ulti up.
participate from afar kind of hero.
Yeah.
And, well, smoke rotation up, and wow, these are just on top of each other. They got no freaking clue.
Yeah, invis on invis.
Definitely one of those, please don't come near.
He's just a fragile little icicle. Don't
It's a
cut him down from the roof.
A delicate ice cream.
So in towards the mid lane, AA really getting the most of that invis rune, able to just wander up. Hasn't been able to plant vision there, still holding on to the obs and sentry wards. And there's the Nyx assassin going in, getting the Vendetta strike, and oh my god! That snowflake just got melted, as now they're going to continue to press forward. The silence from the puck going to wear off. Oh, but it's going to be re-splashed on by Afu, so now it's going to be an even trade, 1-for-1, but that puck definitely the more valuable death. LFY are happy with that.
Radiant's top tower is under
Yeah,
attack.
for sure. And now, I mean,
Radiant's
they made a play in the mid lane. That was their smoke. It was kind of an unfortunate timing. But Roxy's already up level 6 up top, dropping the wards, hitting this tower.
Lifestealer just in a siege creep, waiting this out. Trying to bait him in to go on this solo shaman, but AA Blast's gonna come in, and it will do enough to clip the shaman. And now this Lifestealer just has to rage TP. The bamboozle was thwarted by the AA Blast, so he shows off at level 6 and well, at least does something for his team.
They got the tower though.
Yep.
Top lane, Radiant Tower. Always helps up open Roshan as the game progresses. We've been seeing a lot of safe laners not kill their tower either. You know, rotate towards the off lane and push that tower, or move towards mid and push that one. Actually getting that tower is pretty important. Using a first Serpent Ward and gaining an objective with it all works out for you. Even if you just lose a hero, it's fine.
Yep, and now Ross is going to the boots too, pretty comfortable. I mean, sometimes the roster goes unpunished. He is a 5 hero, but look at his net worth difference compared to the opposing
Radiant's
5.
middle
Yeah,
tower is
1,000
under
up.
attack.
Poor guy. Hey, he's got his shoes. He's chasing everyone around the map. And
Alright, well-
how's Weaver doing compared to how you expect? I mean, his net worth obviously a little bit lower. He has no deaths. He's just been playing safe, but I don't think he's in a position to rotate with his team anytime soon.
Yeah, definitely not. Like, he can't really leave this lane because Bristleback is so strong right now. Treads Vanguard on your off-lane Bristleback at 12 minutes. He does have 2 deaths, but you can just see how much pressure he puts on the
Roll in up the puck. These silences are so brutal. Puck able to go and dodge out the Ice Blast. And he'll be able to get himself home. Magnetize still rocking out. Meanwhile, bottom lane, they're going to have 4 dire heroes crawling around. Looking for the Weaver, looking for DDC to overextend. Now Nyx is going to be coming in. Pings out the AA, but how do they get close enough here? They're going to start things off with the goo. The Impale connects on the AA, and he's just going to get totally evaporated as the kill spray finishes him off. And now there's the Shackles. They are going to bring the Omni Knight in, trying to keep Onai alive. They pop the Guardian Angel for this. Now they're just going to be on the run, but they can just wait out the level 1 GA. And that Omni is going to be going down. No mana for anything else. Might be able to get up one last Purify, but yeah, that's about it. They will allow the Weaver to run to safety, so at least the Omni makes space for his team, but a second set of Shaman Wards now popped down. Will secure this tower as well, so not only is there now control around the Roche pit, there's also control over the Radiant bottom jungle. Meanwhile, Radiant, they're getting active over here. They're looking for the puck, and they will find him. Now DP running on back home as EHOME.K. They bring in all the heroes they've got available. Shackles come in, but it's going to be Shaman giving his life. Tower gets denied by the Lifestealer, who's now on the run. Nyx Assassin tries to invis his way out, but they've got ample dust. So 4 heroes dead on EHOME after committing a lot to the bottom lane and not having the resources to defend mid.
Yeah, that's a real weird fight to start. I assume it's just a massive outplay by Super and Alpha to begin it, because it started as a 2v2 with the Puck and Nyx up against, you know, the DP and Earth Spirit around that tier 1 tower. But not expecting Weaver to rotate up there, perhaps, or expecting more TPs to come in for the rest of their team to make a full-on engagement happen. But everything happening a little bit too slow for EHOME.K.
Yeah, that was the old TP into the Death Prophet ult. They both just get double stunned and then silenced on top of it and just died. And then TPs were staggered, of course, because it's just more export the same unit, it takes a long time. And then she just got healed after that.
Yeah, that Omni paying off. I mean, we talked about how the Omni wasn't quite performing up to par compared to the Bristleback, but I mean, if he's there for every fight like that with his teammates, that's absolute value. That's what you need out of him.
LGD.Forever's lineup definitely comes to their fullest potential. They're playing together as
Radiant's middle tower.
Top
is
lane
under
tower
attack.
going to be taken out, at least opening up the dire jungle for the Radiant heroes, but looks like there may be a trade attempt. This tower melting down quickly. They've got the Omni Knight in the vicinity with the Earth Spirit. They need some damage. Ooh, down here there was a quick little pick
Radiant's middle
onto
tower
DDC.
has
That
fallen.
poor little Icicle can't seem to find much space for himself. Bit of a stalemate here. The tower goes down in favor of EHOME at LFY. They're not going to let any more push come their way.
I think the fact that you are one tower ahead now of the DP Weaver draft, which is meant to be pressuring your towers, feels really good for EHOME.K, right? You know, you've still got your bottom tier one, not massively meaningful in map control, you know, terms, but just gold in the pockets of supports. It's pretty big.
Yeah, and I mean that's usually where you see the big gold bets, right? Big difference in gold is always the support ability to take these objectives like that. But I mean, EHOME, they're off to a great start. Took some towers and then they kind of threw it right back with that play mid lane. So a lot of gold going the way of super on the dead front, but top of the net with the charts. And this is a hero, especially with Omni on the team, that can destroy. What do they do against a repelled DP running around in this team?
Yeah, DP now with the Yule's completed as well, and going in for the Rod of Atos, so she's going to have crazy lockdown. And EHOME, they kind of got to skitter around. EHOME, their sustain in teamfights is pretty okay, but LFY are just going to keep running at them and hopefully burning them down. Nick's going to be vendetta'd in. They are going to make a hold for this bottom tower. They don't want to let the LFY draft start to get a huge tower advantage, start to get the map under their control, because that's when it all starts to slide downhill.
EHOME do have some tools to deal with LFY's 5-man. Bristleback is obviously very hard to push into, just sitting on the tower. And Rasta just split pushes, drops wards, C4s, rotations all the time. And they have plenty of time to scale for sure.
In the top lane, Weaver continuing just to do the solo farm thing, going in for that first big item, Lincoln's. So, gonna be a little bit harder to pop. Is that the play, or do you want to see that first item Diffusal that we've been seeing a ton of?
I mean, it's good, but he just needs to stay alive in these team fights because their damage is staying alive. Like, they have tons of short cooldown abilities. I mean, Deep, a hero that wants long team fights. Omni Knight, same thing, so he's just going to try to tank up and stay alive. Then he'll probably build damage items like the Diffusal Blade.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Smoke up there was not scouted by either of these wards sandwiching mid lane, but see if they're going to be going and catching EHOME off guard. But looks like they just want to head straight to the roach pit. This might take a while. They're going to pop the exorcism right away.
They're just going to come down on them.
Yep. Meltdown. Medium fast for a 17-minute roach. It's okay. But now you can see Puck picking out. Everyone's missing. Let's get to the roach pit, see what's up. But yeah, it's done.
Too late to do it.
Oh, there's a DD rune outside the pit too. Fantastic. They're going to go give Monet the Aegis. So now that Weaver can start participating in teamfights, can go a little bit deeper than you normally would have a Weaver go in at this point in the game. Meanwhile, DDC just getting that XP, getting that farm.
Free AA, the free lane.
What does he buy with his new earned money, though? Buy arcane
That's
boots?
the future.
He's got 1,000 gold, dude. That's the richest AA's ever been this game.
He's going for the gold to throw out the old hand of Midas.
Smoke in. Looks like EHOME trying to force LFY to walk through them. They've got this ward scouting on any rotation from the low ground, and they will see this Weaver walking his way forward. They scan. They know there's at least a couple of heroes around. Nice ward put down will stop the Vendetta from catching him off guard, and now Monet going to be going in trying to pressure back the Bristleback, but EHOME, they're just moving as a unit. There's no need for them to get crazy right now.
LFY's lineup does one thing. Group up, hit towers, EHOME. It's quite obvious. They have heroes that are pretty good and actually split pushing. Rasta, Nyx is also enables your split push just by being able to scout out these movements. So it's actually going to be pretty hard for LFY to get to these towers without being exposed. Like Earth Spirit is in the bottom lane solo pushing, Omni Knight, same thing up top. They have to take some small risk to be able to get to these lanes efficiently without getting massively out-farmed on the map. Then again, there's also Aegis hard to fight into. I mean, this game is quite slow. Point of the game. Both teams are kind of just trying to get to that next step. It's not easy to get.
Puck's getting out of little orb there. See the puck already picked up the Blink Dagger and going towards that Yule Scepter as well, so lockdown a priority of both of these teams. And the rest of LFY, again, like you mentioned, they just want to stay as 5, they want to push, but if EHOME are playing this right, then LFY, they can't go in, they don't want to take risky fights, so they're just sitting back, waiting for the Weaver to keep farming up. Lincoln Sphere now completed and Diffusal next on the list.
Even if they do go into fights, just having Puck Lifestealer or Puck Nyx Lifestealer there to, Dream Core change them and do damage.
Speaking of Nyx, is going to get rooted by that new Atos and locked down. Impale totally off the mark. Chip is going to keep Death Prophet going. One more Crypt Swarm will put Super back on the map. Raking in the kills now 4-1 and 2 for him.
Especially after Weaver's Aegis runs out, Weaver's heavily reliant on maneuverability, hunting supports in the backlines, disengaging when low HP and then re-engaging after you've regened or time-lapsed. If you've got Waning Rift, Dream Coil and Lifestealer chunking away, you don't have all that maneuverability, you're stuck in one place, you have to stand your ground and fight up against you, and that's not what Weaver wants to do. So you might have to even think about Omni changing his plans, and instead of repelling DP, which is your ideal scenario, is DP repelled, ulti on, hit towers, you have to switch that plan up, just because of EHOME's massive and incredibly strong initiation tools.
Initiation down here, there is going to be a silence up, Shadow Shaman getting low, can't quite fight the bug against him. They're going to be able to go and find that kill. Yeah, they're going for this weird split push. The Death Prophet ulti going to expire relatively soon. All the bats flying back to her. They're trying to continue to fight in this. They are going to get Bristleback in that ice Frost Blast. Now, there they go. That's going to be another on the run. Guardian Angel comes out just in time. Omni buying time for himself, and Death Prophet now locked down, but the Spirit Siphon keeping her so healthy, and there's the end of the Exorcism. Coming forward, Weaver spraying out another kill. Oh god, Bristleback is so low. They finally get him. Shadow Shaman respawning soon, but maybe not soon enough to go defend this tower. It looks like maybe just TP in. The Omni Knight still deliciously low, just going to keep spam healing himself up. And I like this positioning from Afu, making sure there's no shrine TPs or rotations up the river, as this tier 1 will finally be collected.
Looking pretty here for LFY. I mean, split fight, even without the Aegis carrier in the beginning of the fight, I mean, they have no real chance of fighting at all, right? There's the mech, Omni Knight spells negate almost all the damage that comes out from EHOME. Weaver is also, it's funny to say this, but Weaver is the tankiest hero on the side of LFY. With strength threats, he has 1900 health with the Lincoln Sphere.
I think it was really unfortunate for EHOME, because their observable sees, DP plus a couple of heroes moving to bot, and expected movement is all 5, right? Everyone goes there with a DP, sits behind the DP, they push tier 1, push tier 2. But having the 2 heroes that were mid, the Weaver and the AA, was it? Or the Weaver and the Earth Spirit, that the Puck and the Shadow Shaman had to fight. Because they wanted to trade, trade tier 2 damage for their tier 1, or try and get some split push going. And then they get caught, lose the Shadow Shaman. Then the Puck has to try and rotate the fight, and they just have this massively disjointed fight across the map, when they're really meant to either, 5-on-5 head-on-head, and try and find the jump and the catch they need, or you just split and leave your towers to die. So they got caught in sort of the middle of 2 worlds, just because of, it's not misinformation, but they didn't have full information. They acted on the little information they had, which was, hey, DP's going to push bot lane. We assume everyone else is going to be behind her.
Yeah, good play from LFY. That's exactly what EHOME need to try to do. They need to try to get some split pushing going on right now, but, I mean, they're just ready. It's tough.
Puck has that DD rune bottled up. Do EHOME want to fight right now? Do they want to get aggressive and start pushing when LFY aren't quite ready to defend, or is that still too risky?
EHOME are in the, guys, we're kind of screwed right now. We can't fight them at all, especially with they have Aegis. We need to farm and split the map as much as possible. So there will be no fighting going on right now.
Yeah. Weaver Aegis expired. He's getting real close to that Diffusal Blade. Roshan going to be up in 2 minutes till we see when it's going to be a fast and short respawn. Oh, Death Prophet just continues to go push out. We saw her complete that Raw to Atos and use it for the little pick down bottom lane, and it looks like she's going to be getting pretty close to Rashida's guard.
He's so tanky, so quick in this game. I mean, Lifestealer is like their biggest damage threat. He almost has the Desolator, but he has 21 armor to cut through.
Yeah.
And, I mean, Yule's counter to like what EHOME wants to do pretty much ruins ruins their team fighting, for now at least, until they pick up more damage on other sources. Like, they can't just initiate on one target, you know what I mean? Because Omni-Knight's always going to save that one person. It needs to be either a coordinated fight where they can disable the Omni-Knight and then go on a target, but then DP also can fuel herself. We'll go for this pickoff.
Oh, DP goes in, drops the Atos on the Bristleback. Now, he's going to Blade Mail it off. Ice Blast, not going to do a whole lot of work on the mix, but yeah, he's in some trouble there. Killed off in the tree line. The rest of his team should be able to escape. Although Monet going in pretty deeply is going to get the Diffusal chart off onto Dark, but it's pretty tricky. They're going to commit everything to this Bristleback kill. The rest of the team is pushing down mid lane, but if the Bristleback goes down, it's going to just keep two TPs in. They make it under the shrine, but Death Prophet still draining damage with the Soul Siphon. There's the mass TPs they needed. Dream 12 connects onto one. They go for the Ward Trap. They are going to get wards down, doing damage. And now they will finally find the kill on the Earth Spirit. Death Prophet going to be running back as Lifestealer tries to chase after him. He's a little bit sluggish. Might be able to go and find the kill on the AA. In fact, they're going to ruin him. In fact, short range Ice Blast. Lifestealer hops into a creep just to waste some time and hops right back out. Now he's still got his armlet on. He's potentially in some trouble. Now, oh, there we go. Omni-Knight gets deep into the fight, casts the GA and 3 remaining heroes. They just got to start wiping out the low health heroes in the Dire. The Shaman goes down as well. They're just pulling in kills now. Bristleback back up, and Lifestealer just going to go to work onto the Death Prophet. She goes for the Yules and saves her own life. And now all they got to do is once again kill this Bristleback. It's all down to this big tanky boy. Maybe they let him off this time, but no, that's not the VP strat.
The baiters become the baited.
Yeah. LFY, they run back, and that was a pretty bloody fight. I thought that was just going to be a quick pick and done, but all the TPs to the shrine didn't really save them.
Yeah, just impossible for EHOME to fight this lineup at the moment. I mean, Lifestealer is a hero who pretty much plays off his range in these fights, right? Once his range runs out, he gets kited. There's even Fizzle Blade, which have no cooldown. Casually slap on him. And he won't be able to hit anyone. And of course, it goes on some target, GA comes out, or they get repelled and walk away, and it's a nightmare for him. There's no real way to take the...
We saw in the end he was getting low and just tried to man up against the DP, just shooing at her, trying to get that lifesteal going, but she just Yulesed and basically just took herself out of the fight for enough time where her team could solo down the lifestealer. So, pretty successful from LFY. Even fighting under an EHOME shrine, they still come out successful.
Yep, and now Solar Press picked up an Omni-Knight as well. Same thing, just tanks all their heroes up. Whoever's getting focused, just makes them that much harder to kill. These heroes are so ridiculously tanky right now.
Puck going for the Dagon build. I mean, is this where you want Puck to be going for? Do we need the Yule, Veil or anything, or is this just they gotta get more damage up ASAP?
You have to blow up the DP before or during ulti before the ghosts come back, right? Especially if you allow them to come to your base, which is going to happen in the next 5 minutes. Especially with Roshan being up now, Aegis and Cheese. You just need to blow up the DP. Some way, somehow.
Gotta blow up the DP, but then meanwhile Weaver can find these heroes in the back like the Rasta, Shadow Shaman. And then he's gonna get worse.
Well, I think Weaver's like unkillable or close to at this point. Lincoln's level 3 time lapse, was it 2000 plus HP? And he's buying a BKB. That's going to be real rough for EHOME to break through.
So many things, unkillable heroes right now on FY.
Yeah, we talked about the problem of, you know, Lifestealer can only fight in his rage. That's going to be a persistent problem. How did EHOME fight around that?
He needs more damage and to get tanky. He just needs items in general. Like he's going for the diffusal blade right now.
Fight mid, they're gonna go in. Shaman tries to save his life with the Glimmer Cape. They do get the dust off on him, but it seems like they're hesitant to actually go up onto the high ground and take this fight. EHOME do still have the tricks up their sleeve to turn that around. So just blowing a couple of spells, Omni-Knight TPs away, and just gonna mitigate the farm with the Lifestealer.
If intended, that's a pretty big and intelligent bait from EHOME, trying to get the ultis out of LFY to take kills on Shadow Shaman and Nyx, you know, 2 supports. If they bait out Exorcism and or GA or Ice Blast, they could potentially have a better fight in the Roach Pit later on.
Oh, here they go. They're going to kick back the Bristle, separating him from his team. Blade Mail doing some work, short range Ice Blast. Now it's going to clip him. He's not healing anytime soon. They drop the wards in the river, but it seems like the fight going a little bit north. All getting very, very low, but oh, he does eventually fall. Domination comes out from the Weaver. Oh, there's the Infest coming out. Guardian Angel, as everyone is still alive on LFY, still fighting up. They do eventually kill off the Bristle, and even under the Dire Shrine, they're still going to find more. This poor Lifestealer can't do diddly without his rage. Puck, the only survivor, just skittering away with a Weaver bug on him. Beautiful fight from LFY.
Yeah, because LFY don't fall for the bait of going on the two supports, they were disciplined, pulled back, they have their ultis to take the big fight and get Roshan.
Has such value using the end of the exorcism to take Roshan to half health.
Not rigged at all.
These double damage runes have been so LFY favored.
The Dota gods are bowing down.
Overall net worth now spiking up pretty handily in favor of LFY. XP, I mean, even more so if we look at overall levels. You've got 20 on your Weaver and your Death Prophet, whereas your Prophet and your Lifestealer 18 and 16 respectively. That is a really big disparity. So Lifestealer, he's clearly got some ground to make up here. He's going to be finishing off his Diffusal pretty soon. Is that going to change things dramatically, or is it just not enough damage?
Alright, guys, this game's not hopeless, right? I mean, it's only a 5,000 gold advantage for LFY here. We won't have a chance. I mean, their heroes, their 3 cores have tons of farm on them, and they scale decently well into the game. But, I mean, right now, LFY have this big power spike where they just can't die. BKB on DP, it's completely fresh, 9 seconds. The last fight, Weaver, 10 seconds. And, Omni Knights, this guy's farmed, he's got 37 armor, he's not really dying yet. Perhaps EHOME can acquire some farm somewhere. You'll start taking things.
Nick's got some really good vision of a little rotation around the pit, seeing that all of LFY are up here in the mid lane. Gonna be sitting, plopping down a ward, and seeing if anyone's squishy like AA comes back to him, refreshes that Vendetta, and he's back on in. Now, Weaver, I mean, Weaver is ready to go. He wants to use this Aegis, not just let it fall like last time, so mid-tower push coming out. They do have the Exorcism available, but they'll hold on to it until it's necessary.
They don't have to commit anything for anything. They can just move down a lane and say, this is ours, this is ours, this is ours, you know. EHOME aren't going to fight into them with Aegis, and they've got cheese as well, right?
Yeah, everything for them is free right now, as long as you just go and force it.
I mean,
you can use the ultimate mid as well.
Like, you need ideal setup, ideal indication, you know.
Oh, Bristleback. Yeah, he's going to be separated from his team. The short range Ice Blast again catches him down. That Death Prophet, she's getting a little bit low, but has that Soul Siphon Rock and BKB'd as well. There is going to be a Puck Dream Coil onto 2, but both heroes BKB'd. They don't seem to mind Shadow Shaman invis, but they're still draining him down. They keep eyes on where he's at. This is going to be an infested Lifestealer into a Puck that just can't find an initiation, so 2 supports go down. But it costs pretty much everything from EHOME to defend that.
That physical damage return from Blade Mail from the Ghost to DP was insane. She didn't even realize until she was like 3rd HP. She got spam pinged by one of her supports saying, dude, you have to Yules here, you're gonna die.
Yeah, Bristleback can still do damage to you, but it's your own damage.
Pretty crazy.
So that's just going to be EHOME. Again, big rotations. They pretty much all had to TP back in. They had to waste all of their ultis just to defend that, and they find support kills. Still, LFY feeling pretty dominant. Net worth is going to be sitting in their favor for a while.
There's still time chipped away off Aegis, you know. Time wasted of LFY getting a tier 2, bursting out Exorcism, but not getting a tier 3.
Puck gonna go try for the Illusory Orb. The Dream Coil holds 2 back, and Puck will get out, but that's an expensive Dream Coil now. Down here in the bottom lane, we are just kind of have a roll away. Let's start making it out, but oh, lucky regen rune for the Puck. Should be able to go and jaunt up to the shrine. Uses the shrine. Not gonna count on that regen rune. Wants to save it for later, and now the rest of the heroes rotating down. Nyx is nearby. They've got their sights set on this TPing out Shaman. Gets clipped by the boulder just in time. Poor little buddy goes for the Glimmer Cape, but they've got vision for days. He will go down for the 6th time. That's a godlike streak from our Death Prophet now.
At least EHOME are starting to get tools that'll actually help them. Lifestealer picked up the Diffusal Blade, now they have it against the DP Yules and on EH.K, of course.
So they sniped Courier there? Dark green wants it.
So
Radiant
close.
Yep.
structures are fortified.
Not gonna find it.
Here, what's his name? You said it earlier. Do you remember?
Jiang An.
Oh. Puck locked down. They just need one more hit on the little fairy dragon, but Nick's doing whatever he can to stop it. Puck gonna go phase shift, and always there's the prediction. No,
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
not gonna
That's
make
why
it up.
he's safe.
Weaver still on his heels. Puck gonna go and necessarily phase shift out, just buying some more time. Bug will clip on him, and now Weaver's hot on his heels. Oh, meanwhile, Super just gonna go find a kill. Oh, come on, man. Puck is good.
To die.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty unfortunate. Nyx dies in the bottom lane, Puck dies in the top lane, and LFY feeling even more dominant than they were a little bit ago. I mean, is this lead gonna stop? There's still so much room for growth on LFY, and
Oh, this
EHOME have
is
the consistent problem of no damage.
This is the green light to run it down mid lane right now. Deep heals up. Cheese is still active as well.
And Shiver's Guard is delivered.
Yeah, I mean, they just hit some item spikes.
Oh. This poor Shaman, man, he's just so paper thin. They're gonna pop the Exorcism here. Shaman gonna get silenced up. I mean, he pops down his snakes, but that's the last thing he'll do. And Weaver just totally content to sit back and clean up the snakes that already have gone. Bristleback gonna pop that blade mail, but Death Prophet not gonna fall for it this time. He's sitting back, and now just keeping the spam up. The tower gonna be melting, goes down very, very shortly. That's the tier 3 crack. And now BKB's up. There is gonna be an Ice Blast that whiffs, but he still might be able to kill off the Bristleback. He doesn't have that blade mail back up. And kill sprays are not enough to thwart back LFY. Lifestealer, he's so low, he just melts. That's with an armlet. Bristleback buys back into the game. Lifestealer has his buyback, currently holding it. As they're waiting for more, Puck gets low, gonna get corralled back. The damage from the Weaver is so significant. Omni Knight just chugging away with some goo on him, but he's in no real danger of death. LFY, they go in. They lose an Earth Spirit. They have to pop all their ults, but they force buybacks. They get a tier 3. This is just everything they need.
Rax defended, but at an expensive cost.
I mean, EHOME, it's looking grim. This is a best of 3, so they've got 2 more chances to redeem themselves, but what's their route back into this game for now, at least? Gareth, you got anything?
They've got to rely on Shadow Shaman doing the AUI 2000 thing. Go hide in some trees, run down the lane, Ether shock some waves, Serpent ward some towers, hope to get some, you know, pressure that way so that LFI have to come back and address it. I mean, EHOME going to be happy that they only lost tier 3 there, right? They didn't lose any racks, so that's a silver lining for them. But it's so tough for them to find an initiation that lets them take 1 kill and turn it into 2 and then 3. You know, they can't chain through in these team fights. They kill 1 like the Earth Spirit, and then Lifestealer gets chunked down by DP. Or gets killed off by a Weaver damage, you know?
I mean, that whole fight, Lifestealer spent running because he knows he can't do anything attack.
Yeah, like they initiated on the Earth Spirit, and then he ran back to his shrine and still died.
Rough life.
LFY just traveling as a group. They're going to have the Exorcism back up in 10 more seconds. Weaver no longer holding on to the Aegis. Roshan going to be, well, we'll see pretty soon if it's a short or long respawn. It's LFY just start invading enemy territory. Taking out the shrine, that's going to be a super important key to making sure that next Roche goes their way.
EHOME making some nice moves down bottom though, getting their split push on, and this is something they can't just ignore, especially with Shadow Shaman being down there. Mass Serpent Wards summons a lot of Serpent Wards. You're building this.
A mass amount of them.
Radiant's bottom tower
That's
is under
right.
attack.
Are they not placing them? Still holding.
Not yet. Forcing back rotations is neat. They just want to throw away the gold, so they got what they wanted, a couple of TPs.
It's definitely their objective, just create space. They're buying time for now.
Nice ward here in the Radiant jungle. Just gonna scout out any movements, but Radiant, they got the same one.
You guys believe the odds on this?
I'm gonna refresh them because I don't know. There's just been bugging out a little bit. If not, that's a hardcore value bet, but I think it might need to be updated.
God, I missed out.
But I don't know if they're accurate as now. Bristleback's going to initiate the fight.
Let's go EHOME.
The Atos comes in. I mean, if EHOME were going to take a fight, this is pretty advantageous to them, but manage to get it started. They go in, they get a nice silence. Pucks there for some damage onto the Earth Sphere. Earth Sphere is going to get killed off immediately with no buyback. Meanwhile, they've just got the Lifestealer having to rage TP out, but the damage is more than enough. He gets blasted apart. He does have buyback, but the rest of EHOME.K, they just got to scurry away as Death Prophet's now going to go clean up these racks. They don't have creep for now. Creep wave is going to be walking in fairly shortly, so these racks will start to evaporate. Buyback used on the next assassin as Puck goes forward, gets coming in silence. There's the Shaman just going forward, trying to get a Hex off, but now he's going to force staff himself back and save his life. The Glimmer Kick comes in, and now there's the buyback on the Bristle, rocking through, but he's tanky. Blade Mail's done, and now, yeah, that's just what they need. They're going to go clean up the Shaman. He doesn't have buyback. They're looking for more. This could be a dieback on the Bristle if they find it. And this poor Lifestealer, you see it just running for his life always, infests into the Bristleback, and well, next assassin, he's frosty, he's got that Carapace going, but it's not going to last for long. Death Prophet goes, buys himself more time with the Dual Scepter, and now, oh, okay, look at that, that's cheese eaten up as Lifestealer can't do anything but fight the Weaver bug on him. He's going to get picked off by Weaver himself, and that's going to be a beyond godlike streak now for Super. Just keeps it going. There's 3 heroes dead with no buyback, and this is looking grim.
This Monet build on Weaver's so sick. Going for a Skadi after the Lincoln PvP, having the diffuser as your first actual damage item primarily. The Skadi kites Lifestealer and Bristle so hard.
Not to mention the massive HP pools from heroes. Like, they're just tanking up. Like, none of them die, actually. Even DP almost got close to dying there, but had the cheat. It's just the battle of the tanks. Bristleback's not dying either. But of course, he's not killing.
Roshan now just spawns. There's a regen rune outside the pit, so this is just a open invitation to go walk on in and take yourself another Aegis and Shoes and keep that pressure up. Ryan's taken down, so there's no quick TP points, but it looks like Puck still wants to make a go of this, sends the orb into the pit just to get some scouting information.
Very ambitious with that Lifestealer, but if they don't contest or just try to go for a steal, I can't imagine that they can aim it.
Bristleback comes in, he's going to get Atosed up. They're temporarily delaying the fight as, oh, what a gorgeous Earth Spirit play. That's what they needed just to close this game out. Bristleback is just going to get Rosen in play, slapped down. That's 4 heroes dead. That's got to be the next assassin is soon to go down as well as the GG is called.
Moves like that are the reason why Arfu got poached from Southeast Asia and
that's
brought
the reason
to
why
China.
you have to ban Earth Spirit against this guy. Oh my god.
Just disgusting.
So well played, LGD.Forever Young. They're going to take game 1 of this best of 3 series against EHOME, but games 2 and potentially 3 sure to be pretty action-packed as well.